Hello, my friends. Welcome back. It's been a long time between visits, I know. I am here with a very quick layout in my traveler's notebook. I'm using the Golden Afternoon collection from Rosie Studios. Basically, I've been crafting non-stop with this collection since I got it. I've almost filled an entire notebook with layouts using this collection. And as you can see from the video, there's still a ton left. I've got a ton left of this collection, so it won't be the final layout, that's for sure. I've got a 3x4 photo here of myself and my very lazy co-worker, Pearl. And I'm doing things a little bit differently for this one. I've decided to build my photo cluster first before I choose a background paper to work with. I just decided that I would have a better shot of getting something I liked if I put all of these little bits and pieces together first. And that way I would know which colorway or which pattern is going to look best in behind the photo cluster. So I started by going through literally just one of the packs of die cuts. I knew that I wanted this one to be a little bit more basic, I guess, or just basic shapes. I'm talking about working and Pearl, and the other pack of die cuts is full of beautiful florals, and I've been finding myself drawn to these more kind of basic shapes lately because we're definitely not in the season of florals, that's for sure. So I think I'll be keeping all of those for a little bit more springy photos maybe. I've got a few months of winter to go first, so we'll see how long that lasts. I've got kind of the basic arrangement of bits here. I am going to shuffle things around just a little bit because by the time I go to adhere everything down, it doesn't really work the way it did when it wasn't adhered. But I did matte that photo first, and I decided that a darker color was going to work better. I had a little scrap of this really dark kind of foresty green. It's got a very light floral to it, but it's mostly just a forest green paper. I actually did a whole notebook page with that the other day, so I had that little scrap left over. It helped the photo kind of stand out from some of these ephemera pieces, which are a little bit on the lighter or the pinker side of things. This is where things go a bit haywire because building that cluster on my desktop, I hadn't really taken into account that it needs to fit on the actual page of the traveler's notebook. So I did have to do a little bit of shuffling so that it wasn't too large. I want there to be a little bit of a gap. And I did end up, like I said, moving things around so that I could split a couple of these die cuts. I end up splitting two of them and extending them above the photo. So I've got them in a place behind other die cuts or behind the photos where you can't see that there's a split in the middle of them. So I did this little corally peachy colored ticket and the larger tag. It just helps there be a little bit more consistency, like top and bottom. I wanted to fill out this cluster a little bit more. And to be honest, I wasn't loving, I loved the sentiment on that really dark circle, "Today you will shine." But I wasn't loving the placement of it. Having it on that kind of top left corner of my photo made it feel really heavy. I feel like it's better suited on top of my photo in the middle here. It just feels a little bit more balanced. So I went through some of my papers and I was just pulling out ones that I thought would work, or to be honest, I'm at the point where I've hoarded all of my favorite papers long enough. It's time to be serious and actually use them. So there were a few that were contenders, but in the end, I really love this. I'm going to call it a golden yellow. I'm going to avoid calling it orange. I mean, if you've been here for any amount of time, orange is not my thing. So I'm going to call it golden yellow. I just love the floral pattern on it. It's so pretty. And I'm trimming out a piece that's slightly shorter than the height of my notebook. So I want a little bit of a white border around it. My notebook is 8¼ inches tall, so I've trimmed this paper so it's 8 inches tall. And then I trimmed about a 5½ inch piece, and you can see why here. I split that piece so that there's about 1.5 inches, a little bit less, I think, on the left-hand side, just enough so that it kind of goes across the spread and tucks underneath my photo cluster. And then I adhere to the other piece on the right-hand side with just that little bit of a border around it. The issue that I'm having with this notebook is I've been working in a series of notebooks this year. I hand make them all because it's super easy to do so. However, this one I did mess it up slightly. The stitching isn't quite straight, and I decided that I would persist with it, and I was about 3 layouts in before I thought, oh, this just makes working in this notebook so difficult because I kind of have to like hand trim each of the pages. So usually I can get away with a generic size and it mostly fits in my handmade notebooks. This one I kind of have to customize each piece to fit on my slightly wonky center line. So it's a tiny bit of a pain, but I get it eventually. This one I quite like because it's got that kind of white strip down the center of the page. This is actually the middle of my notebook. It kind of hides the wonkiness a bit more than usual. So that was just excellent accidental planning, I guess. On my right-hand side, I'm going to have my journaling and my title, which I'm putting on now. I have used mostly these black alphas. I love those little colored ones, and I was kind of hoping to use them today. I thought the little brown ones would be all right, but they didn't have enough contrast on this little piece here. So I have used the black. It ties in that black die cut and the black and white of my photo. So I think that's the right choice. And I'm just going to whip away here and add my journaling on my clear sticker paper. I just used the back of one of those journaling cards. I just wanted a bit of smooth white cardstock so that I could put my journaling on. The only other cardstock I've got around here is textured, and so it's kind of, you can see the kind of little air bubbles underneath that sticker journaling. So I used the back of that. I matted it with that same green floral paper just to give a little bit of consistency. And I'm adding just a few finishing touches from the sticker book. I've got a couple of die cut words above my journaling and a couple of other little stickers. And then that's pretty much it. I'm going to call this layout all finished. I have one more sticker in here. You can see it. This tiny little bulldog clip was the perfect color to add a little bit of pink on this side. It just wasn't quite the right shape because I didn't see it there. I've adhered everything down. So I'm going to do a little bit of trickery and just trim off the white edge so that I can line it up to the top of that journaling piece. And then my layout will be all done. I know I've sped this up for you guys, but like honestly, this didn't take me any more than 20 minutes. It was a fun little process, and I really love how this page turned out. Like I said, this collection is one of my favorites ever. I'm going to go ahead and say that. And if you want to grab it for yourself, there is a discount code in the description box for you. Hey, thank you for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Otherwise, I'll see you again really soon. Bye.